Smalls Championship Lanes in Anderson, Indiana. We continue to go bowling across America. Welcome to the Bare PBA Indiana Classic. A capacity crowd is ready for an Indiana native, EJ Tackett, our top seed tonight, the reigning PBA Player of the Year. Marshall Kent eyeing his second win in 3 weeks. Kyle Troup, the U.S. Open champion, and some new faces too. This field, Benji Martinez and Zach Wilkins looking to be contenders here tonight. As we welcome you to our broadcast desk, everybody, I'm John Fanta. My partner is the Hall of Famer in season 25, calling the PBA, Randy Peterson. All right, Randy, EJ Tackett, 4 straight weeks that he has made a show. He has yet to break through for that first win of 2024. What are you seeing from him?
What I'm seeing is what everybody knows about EJ Tackett. It's just pure greatness. This guy, 4th telecast in a row. What a season he had in 2023, capturing the United States Open Player of the Year. But on television in 2024, it's been a bit of a struggle, right? Here we see EJ hoisting that beautiful trophy. But this season at the U.S. Open, that errant shot cost him that match. Then in Chicago, this errant shot, the Big Four against Jake Peters, cost him that match. Keep in mind, though, this guy is 1 game away tonight from capturing his 22nd title. That would tie the great Marshall Holman in career titles.
And he is only 31 years of age. Tackett, one of the faces of this sport. Who could he potentially have to go through tonight? A familiar face to him, the U.S. Open champion, Kyle Troup.
Kyle Troup, after his U.S. Open hangover, he's back with a vengeance. And he said it's all been a mental battle for him, but mentally he's in a great spot. And how about Marshall Kent? He is in the best place in his life these days and finally living up to his true potential.
Kent rededicating himself to the sport, one of the special stories of this early season. But is tonight EJ's night in his home state of Indiana? Our Kimberly Pressler is with the reigning PBA Tour Player of the Year.
Thanks. So EJ, you know, a lot of athletes would be satisfied with the fact that they made a top 5 telecast because it's extremely tough to get here. But you made that tough road almost look easy, making 4 consecutive shows. But I know for a fact that you are not satisfied just making shows. But unfortunately, you haven't been able to crack that winner's circle just yet this season. So what's been holding you back?
You know, in Chicago, I didn't bowl very good. At the U.S. Open, I had an opportunity and made an errant shot. Last week in Missouri, I did everything I could do in the 10th frame, and Simo got up and did what Simo does and threw a double to knock me out. But I'm going to take the positives out of that 3 shots that I threw last week. You know, getting up and actually doing it when I needed to. Hopefully I can, you know, bring that into tonight and throw some good shots, put up a good score, and hopefully it wins. And
you're back home in Indiana. You've bowled here for 20-plus years. What's it mean to have this crowd behind you?
I mean, it's always really cool to be in Indiana. Obviously, we were at Woodland Bowl a few weeks ago for the U.S. Open. I made the show there. I love being able to bowl in Indiana. I finally got the win in Indiana last year at the U.S. Open. Hopefully, I can bring home title number 2 tonight.
All right. Well, we'll see you in the finals because you are our number 1 seed tonight.
He has won high school state championships right here at Championship Lanes as well. As we take a look at the step ladder, we'll begin with Zach Wilkins out of Canada versus Benji Martinez from Mexico. Two-hander.
2 players with very little television experience, and being under the bright lights of the PBA Tour, the biggest stage in our sport, is about as nerve-wracking as it can get. You're just trying to keep your feet underneath you for a couple of shots. Both these players are shaking like they did an all-night bender in front of the espresso machine at Starbucks.
Wilkins making his first TV appearance in 5 years. It's the 2019 Roth-Holman doubles, and now here is a young talent from Mexico, Benji Martinez. What do you see in his skill set?
Well, he's a very traditional player uses his thumb. It's just kind of a little more old school with some power.
And he starts with a scenario right off the bat. 2, 4, 5, 8.
Otherwise known as the bucket. Both players starting with Black Hammer 78, and that is a urethane bowling ball, and that's why you don't see a whole lot of shape.
An unbelievable 6-game set of 1632 in qualifying earlier this week. He came up 3 pins shy of the PBA record, shared by Norm Duke and Dave Wadka.
Yeah.
The bucket cleans that up. And Randy, he's got a fan club because he is an alum of Savannah College of Art and Design.
Yep, went to SCAD. They have a great bowling program there these days.
We are here for you from Savannah. Bring that fuego tomorrow.
And there's the team mom. I know her personally. Her name is Ganja Kurt. Her daughter was just to her right, Laura. I used to coach Laura back when she was a 12-year-old. Now she's at SCAD. They live in Ocean Isle Beach, North Carolina, and just some of the greatest people you'll ever meet. But big shout out to Ganja and the rest of the Kurt family. No urethane. You're not supposed to do that. Solid 9. A little loft on that left lane. You're going to notice the right lane is going to be tighter down lane. We'll see that throughout the telecast. A little more friction on this left lane, and it showed right there.
Again, that shout out coming from down at SCAD, Savannah College of Art and Design. Benji, an alum. And wearing the colors of the school tonight. Just 26 years of age.
I asked Ganja, what does she do for the team? She says, I'm the team mom. And I cheer the loudest.
What you would expect from a team mom. And how about that smile?
If you want a re-rack, you have to tell them immediately. You can't look first and then decide a re-rack. Okay. So if you want a re-rack, just know that you have to say it right when you come off the approach.
Right. In order to get a re-rack, it has to be your first order of business. And that's what Dino is explaining to Benji.
You get to see what a new kid on the block is going through. We sometimes, with faces like Tackett, Troup, that we've got tonight, we take those things for granted.
Those guys are vets. They know what they're doing, right?
Yeah,
I mean, they know how to manage the clock. They know how to when to take re-racks and when not to. They know when to ice their opponent, getting up to the 10th frame. But there again, you see what I was mentioning earlier, the tightness of the right lane, down lane.
Zach Wilkins talked to us about using his rev rate, slower speed, and shaping it this week.
Well, and what we're seeing here in match number 1 is both players using urethane, and we saw that throughout the week during all the qualifying. Players would start with urethane for a game or two, and then as soon as that look went away, as you take a look at his arsenal, when that look went away, the players then immediately jumped into reactive resin and moved in.
We asked him who he's been playing for all week. He said his fiancée, Tegan. Tegan's mom right now dealing with a medical emergency. Our thoughts and prayers. And there's a pumped up Zach Wilkins playing for his better half and her family tonight.
Bucket last time on this right lane, Benji's first shot. Did you mention he's from Guadalajara? And the center that he bowls out of, I did an exhibition there.
Still leaves a 4.
So he goes light, and then this time it's a little high, leaving the 4 pin. He's just micromanaging and Again, just trying to get his nerves in check.
He talked about that run that he had in that 6-game set in the second round of qualifying here. Goes from 276 to 279, 277, then a 300. He was exceptional to get to this stage. Need more evidence? Break this down, RP.
Yeah, well, take a look at those scores, and his countrymen would say he was en fuego. And just missing the record by 3 pins.
Muy bien for Benji Martinez. He's got a rich personality. His family, which Kimberly will get to here, they're here tonight. They wasted no time in getting here. His first show was during COVID, so they couldn't be here. He strikes.
You heard him say, vamos, let's go, let's go. There's his family right there. Mom, dad, and his brother.
So back to Wilkins from Canada, from Barrie, Ontario. Wouldn't give. It asked for a date, but was rejected.
Sounds familiar.
Same.
Two pin once again on the right lane. He moved a board right on that shot there and still left the 2-pin. Again, big scores all week long. All but one of our finalists tonight averaged over 240.
And cleans that out. Let's take a look at tonight's Brunswick oil pattern. The Viper 37.
Yeah, 37 feet, 12 300 games, and I mean, the players just destroyed them. And when speaking with some of them, they said, well, they were PBA easy, not league easy, PBA easy, and the guys just lit them up this week.
That they did. And Zach talked with us about being able to slow his speed and getting that accuracy. Oil allowing him to use rev rate and that slower speed. Mr. Wilkins with a strike.
A 1-0.
1-0.
One with your feet, eyes stay the same.
Back to Mr. Martinez. Guadalajara, Mexico. That's where he's from. Moved up to Chicago 2 years ago. Just to continue to get reps, get consistency. Messenger.
Una bola.
Flat 10. The urethane flaccid 10 right there. He goes bucket, then he goes high with a 4-pin, and this time it's that flat 10. At what point does he say, you know what, maybe I got to get out of the urethane ball?
He did that earlier this week when he needed to make the move. He talked about making his moves with conviction. Let's go to Kimberly.
Well, John, you mentioned earlier that Benji's parents, Patricia, Benjamin, and his brother Dario are in the audience watching him compete live on TV for the very first time. They got in late last night from Guadalajara, Mexico, so I was able to speak to his brother Dario right before the telecast, and he said that he and Benji used to watch the PBA on TV as kids, and now being here watching his brother is like living an absolute dream.
Not a very good ball reaction. I mean, it's a little inconsistent, wouldn't you say? One light, one high, one light, one high.
He's trying to find it. That being said, for him to come 3 pins shy of that record for a 6-game set to only Norm Duke and Dave Waka. He just said, I was throwing great, I was carrying everything, you're getting messengers, everything clicked. But as you described last week, being on TV, totally different monster.
Yes, sir. Until you've been here and done this, it's a completely different animal.
Who will conquer that monster in Indiana? We're just getting rolling with the Indiana Classic from championship lanes. Martinez and Wilkins dueling. With final qualifying games of 268 and 266. Pretty impressive company, Randy Peterson.
Yeah, very impressive. And Simo, Arturo both made a late run at Benji, and he didn't falter.
Zach Wilkins with a 2-pin lead right now. Talked about this black hammer, what it was able to deliver for him this week. Wilkins heating up. And tonight, he's got this man in attendance. This is amazing, folks. His dad, Rick. Rick has gone through extreme radiation and chemotherapy, and 3 weeks ago completed his victory over throat cancer.
Yeah, I mean, just an incredible story. And I mean, wow, what a great ending to all of his hardship that he went through, and then to have Zach be able to do this in front of his dad it's incredible.
Mom Leanne here, brother Steven, special night for the Wilkins family. Let's go! And Zach, you're going.
All right, so we're finally starting to heat up. Remember, big scores all week long, and it's only the 5th strike between these two players through 6.5 frames, 4 of them coming from Zach Wilson, but that's 3 in a row, and now he increases his lead to 22.
He said time and again this week, we asked him, what's been the key? What's been the key? He said, mentality. Playing for these people, playing for my dad. Now can Martinez answer? Benji has caught some tough breaks.
And I think his speed's just too fast, especially on that right lane, and there's just not enough motion going through the pins. Remember week 10, prior to that shot, and this time it's the shaker 7.
You talked about that ball change.
He's pot committed now. 5-9 spares if he covers this through 7 frames.
As bowled for the Mexico national team. His father got him into the sport. But right now he finds himself in a hole.
Well, this young man, keep in mind that he has to bowl the PTQs all season. And that's the pre-tournament qualifiers, so just to get into the tournament proper. And that was an additional 7 games for Benji.
Had Nate Bagger as part of that PTQ. And now, in his 2nd television appearance ever, 2021 PBA Players Championship Southwest Regional Finals 3 years ago. And there it is. More like it for Mr. Martinez.
Subtle move on the left lane for Benji, and this one finally strikes. But in my opinion, in order for him to have any chance of winning this match, he has to strike out. That rev rate with the urethane ball, you could see it kicking the 10 out. I mean,
Can I get a re-rack, please?
He's taking that re-rack now here on the left lane, but in what sport does power not reign supreme? Six to the sidewall, kicks the 10 out like Jackie Chan.
This man is feeling good right now. Locked in with his game. 8th year pro. He's 31 years of age. He was 50th in points last year.
Yeah, all but over now. He just needs really good count in the 10th. 9 would get him, 9 out would get him to 226. Martinez can strike out for 226. So Martinez has to strike out to have any chance. Put some pressure, a little pressure anyway, on Zach Wilkins.
Winner gets a matchup with the United States Open champion. Yeah, the U.S. Open champ's the 3 seed here, Kyle Troup. Martinez needs it, gets it.
Well, he finally fitted into the 1-3 on the right lane. Still a little hope left. Again, 2 players with very little television experience, so you never know what could happen. Martinez is just thinking, man, I just need to strike out to give Zach Wilkins something to think about.
EJ Tackett made Anthony Simonson, well, we thought made him think last week, and then Simo stepped up to that right lane and was unbelievable.
Yeah, well, you heard what EJ said, Simo doing Simo stuff. I mean, you know, he stayed with a ball that he left 3 consecutive week 10s with and just somehow found a way to get it to double.
Martinez making a push.
Yeah, good shot. So if he strikes out, he'll force Wilkins to mark. A little bit softer speed on that left lane, but he's also a little bit farther left. And needs 2 more just like that one.
Here's the thing. This kid at 26, he's just getting started.
Yeah.
He's got a lot to look forward to. Benji Martinez has found it. Stand up, Anderson.
Well, this one matters. Strike here, and he forces Wilkins to mark. If he doesn't strike here, he gets 9. Wilkins can get 9 first ball and win.
Nothing easy.
It's not easy winning on the PBA Tour, my friend.
He showed so much grace in qualifying earlier this week, and that shot we showed you at the top of this segment. Benji Martinez. Oh, late surge, and listen to this crowd.
Well, it was a nice way to finish, but it might be a little too late for Benji Martinez. Now Wilkins just needs 9 on this ball, doesn't even need the mark.
With his fiancée Tegan having a watch party back in Kansas City. With her mother going through a medical emergency this week. With Dad here tonight as his inspiration, beating cancer. Zach has a powerful story. He's met adversity this week and now trying to book a matchup with Kyle Troup. Zach Wilkins. Moving on. Let's go. Right here.
Well, his execution has been great coming down the stretch here in game 1. That's a 6-bagger, and he's been within an inch of every shot he's thrown in terms of accuracy.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's go.
Mr. Wilkins, your Saturday night in Indiana will continue. He'll meet a man who experienced some title glory of his own just a few weeks ago in Indiana, Kyle Troup.
The other one.
I got it.
What's he doing here, Randy?
He's going to look at the reactive resin for his fill shot. He wants to see what kind of shape and motion he's going to get out of this in case he has to jump into the reactive. Look how much farther left. And the down lane reaction. Look how much difference those two lines are.
2:59 for Zach Wilkins. Guess who's up next? The king of the U.S. Open this year. The pro with the fro. Kyle Troup is next. Troup will meet Zach Wilkins with Marshall Kent the 2, EJ Tackett the 1.
Yeah, and after the slow start, the players really picked it up late. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 12 out of 13 thrown the last half of the game.
What'd you like most about Wilkins?
Guy sacked up, man. He got up there and he clutched out. I mean, he threw the shots when you have to throw the shots. I mean, that's all you can ask for, right?
Bingo. And throws another.
Make the shots when it matters. And that's what he did.
So here he is. Kyle Troup, such a fan favorite on the PBA Tour. The Bob Ross of bowling. The son of Guppy, the 8-time PBA Tour winner. He talked with us this week about his mentality off winning the U.S. Open. Had a couple of tough weeks. Mr. Troup off to a strong start.
And Kyle using urethane to start game 2. That is an IQ 78. And there's a fashion statement being made right there by Kyle Troup. That's a uni from his dad way back in the day.
That's right. Guppy wore this outfit, these colors, in 1998 at the Erie Open. And wore something similar to this for the King of the Lanes Family Edition as well. Started with a double.
It's time.
And I think there was probably a little bit of a U.S. Open hangover for Kyle. I mean, it's pretty easy to understand. It's such a grind and a brutal event. I think it's the hardest tournament to win on the PBA Tour. And so, you know, it makes sense that maybe he was kind of somewhere else mentally for a couple of weeks, but not anymore.
It's interesting because you want the reward, all the celebration of winning that. But on the PBA Tour, it's short memory. It's the definition of short memory.
Yeah, you're right, John. There's no time to celebrate. I mean, you get done winning, collect your check and trophy, sign some autographs, and then you're on to the next week.
And if things go south, people don't.
You're only as good as your last performance, right? So there's zero time to celebrate, unless it's the season-ending event or something you get to go home and share it with your family and friends. But these players, they pack it up and they move on to the next week.
Not good for Wilkins there. Not good. And open, and you see Troup, as he's talking to himself, look here, this mistake.
Yeah, not what you want to do, especially against a player like Kyle Troup. And I wonder if going up against Kyle is somehow maybe mentally affecting Zach. Nice bounce back shot, though. But according to Lane Talk stats, Nobody missed more 10 pins out of our 5 finalists this week than Zach Wilkins. And for more information, you want to be a better bowler, head on over to lanetalk.com. All of our great stats brought to us by our good friends there. Now let's see if Kyle Troup does what he normally does, and that's jump all over opportunities given to him.
His tour rep. Boom. Jim Callahan gave him a book this past week. Kyle said he had not read a book since being in about 7th or 8th grade. He read the book Holes. He got the book Mind Gym, an athlete's guide to inner excellence. He said it really helped him recalibrate and just settle in mentally. And I think we're seeing that right now.
We certainly saw this week, and off to a great start here against Zach Wilkins in game 2.
Reading the book, An Athlete's Guide to Inner Excellence. He's off to an excellent start. Sometimes a good read will help you succeed.
It's a good one, John. Check out this shot by Kyle Troup and watch what he does when he hits the foul line. You can feel it as soon as it leaves your hand, and Kyle Troup knew that one was perfect.
Is there any better feeling? When you know?
No, I mean, yeah, no. It's what you work for. It's what you practice. It's what you try to obtain each and every shot. And it's such a field sport that you know as soon as it leaves your hand, good or bad. Does it have a chance? It has no chance, or it's going to be perfect.
PBA All-Star Weekend is coming up. The All-Star Skills Showdown will be Friday, March 15th, 6 Eastern on FS1. PBA Legacy Cup, Legends and Rising Stars, Saturday, March 16th, 1 Eastern on FS1. And then Go Bowling, PBA, NASCAR Invitational at Phoenix Raceway on St. Patrick's Day, Sunday, March 17th, 1 Eastern on Fox. Voting for PBA All-Star Weekend is live now at PBA.com and will remain open through noon on Tuesday, February 27th. EJ Tackett on top. Kyle Troup, Bill O'Neill, the points leader, filling out the top 3. Wilkins is rising there too. He's 4. Double for Zach. By the way, the 4 players with the highest number of votes will compete in the PBA Legacy Cup, Legends and Rising Stars. Pete Weber among the legends. You can see that on FS1, Saturday, March 16th at 1 Eastern.
I heard there might be a Norm Dukes sighting as well. Is that true?
You would be correct. Really cool that we'll see the legends in action. Troup is in rhythm.
Wow.
A kiss.
Can you re-rack, please?
You got that urethane ball back from a spot I didn't think you could get it back from. And talking with the players, I was like, well, how far right can you get it back from? And they said, well, the third board is the gutter. You get it anywhere right of that and it goes in.
U.S. Open crown places him 3rd in points through the 4 title events. Followed by Marshall, Kent and EJ Tackett. Bill O'Neill in the midst of that potential career year. Not on this show, but what a season he's having.
Great season thus far for Bill.
Whew. On fire. Kyle Troup's hair's on fire tonight. Holy smokes!
Like I said, it's time.
Oh, it is time. Indiana having some beverages. Are they at Kyle Troup's party? Mr. Wilkins would like to say something about that. The night is young, America. How many do you see a player in the midst of fighting for a title reading? Kyle Troup started this book, Mind Gym, An Athlete's Guide to Inner Excellence by Gary Mack. He started the book Monday. He's almost done. Will he finish reading it before winning a title tonight? Reading during a match, have you ever seen anything like that?
No.
Did you read?
I used to read the USA Today because they would give it away at the hotels for free. I would read that.
You're cheap. Wilkins strikes.
Getting it back from that spot's a good sign for both players. A couple boards right on that right lane, but it gets back. Front 6 for Troup, and it's a 4-bagger for Wilkins.
Zach, talk to us about that slower speed, shaping it.
Well, with the urethane balls, the players are going to go a lot straighter. There's not a lot of shape to it, but speed is very crucial.
Said the oil pattern allowed him to use rev rate. Slow that up. Boom.
He's bowling nice right now, and you know, you got to look at the second frame when he left the 10 pin and whipped it. And then Kyle's just all over it with the front 6, so not a whole lot that Zach can do about that, but another nice shot. It's 5 in a row for Zach Wilkins, trying to get back into this here in game 2.
Looking to his fiancée, Tegan, and her family back in Kansas City watching. Told you about mom dealing with a medical emergency. Our thoughts and prayers with Tegan and her family. Back to Troup. U.S. Open champion. Has been perfect. Kyle Troup has the first 7 strikes toward bowling a 300 game. Should he or any of the pros on today's show bowl a perfect game, everyone in America can receive a free game of bowling courtesy of Go Bowling. To pre-register, visit GoBowling.com and sign up for the Go Bowling Free America promotion.
Well, speaking to a lot of the players this week, they all said the same thing, that the lanes in this oil pattern were very conducive to bowling a perfect game on television. I just hope I didn't jinx Kyle.
Something we have not seen since June 26th of last year in Arlington. Jason Belmonte, who became the first player to record 3 televised 300 games. You didn't jinx him, Randy. It's getting real. They can feel it here at Anderson. Been done 36 times.
And Kyle, the number 3 seed, remember when he won the United States Open, he was the number 3 seed.
They say it's a magic number. Wilkins is doing his part, though, to stay in this thing.
Come on, one right here.
Registration for the 2024 PBA LBC National Championships is now open to bowlers of all skill levels and from all centers. The PBA LBC National Championships is heading to a new location outside Chicago and includes 2 new junior divisions. You can compete in singles as well as optional doubles and team events. Even combine your scores with the pros. Enter today at pba.com/LBC tournament.
And bowl for a lot of money.
A lot. 25,000. Up for grabs tonight, and Wilkins, Randy, what a job he's done responding.
I mean, he's hanging. If he makes that spare in the second, he's on a 280 pace. Unfortunately, Troup is perfect through 8. But Wilkins keeps the pressure on.
Troup has bowled a 300. Came back on television. It came back on June the 5th. 2022. And that was a day where Troup and Belmonte did it. Only time 2 televised 300 games have been bowled on the same day. That came out in Arlington. Messenger, come on! Oh.
The nerve.
The nerve.
Man.
I'll never talk to the 10 again.
I mean, forget the teaser. You know, if you're going to come across, at least take the 10 out. Watch the head pin. Looks like it's coming across with some really good intentions, and it's just like, hey, you want a hug? You want to snuggle? No. Want to go down?
It's like going to McDonald's and getting a single. Just have the double and end it. Don't try to be healthy. Tomorrow, the NASCAR Cup Series heads to Atlanta for some high-speed pack racing. Catch every turn to see who takes home the checkered flag for the And Better Health 400. We kick things off with the pre-race at 2 Eastern, and green flag drops at 3 on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
Strike, spare, strike. He will shut out Zach Wilkins.
So
if he doesn't strike on this ball, Zach still has a chance.
Yeah.
That was in.
Kyle Troup.
That was in, and it struck. That's a good sign. And that's part of the reason why the scores are so high this week. There's a little mistake room left and right of target.
That's the just bare, just right strike.
Cock can get just right here with another strike. I think we should change the just right strike to that one.
It was just
the weaker one.
righter. The Just Right strike is brought to you by Just Bare, the mindful choice for high-quality protein with no antibiotics ever. Just Right, Just Bare.
We got to get Kyle a gold hair pick. He's looking at reactive right there. Might be his ball that he goes to, even though he just shot 279. Believe it or not, players did it all week long.
On fire. And he books a date with Marshall Kent.
Can't wait to see you.
He just heard Zach deliver a message to his fiancee, Tegan. Hey, Zach Wilkins, you deserve a tip of the cap.
Yeah, he did. He did a really nice job. Remember, 259 game 1. He can strike out for 268. The guy's averaging in the 260s. It gets knocked out.
Hey, look who's here. Marshall Kent. He's seeking a second PBA Tour title in 3 weeks. Next. Welcome back to David's Falls Championship Lanes for the Just Bare Indiana Classic. It is stop number 5 on our PBA Tour season from Anderson, Indiana. And it's time to give you a PBA Elite League update. Earlier this week here in Anderson, PBA Elite League presented by Snickers held round 7 and 8. Sean Rash led the Las Vegas High Rollers along with AJ Johnson, who wins over the Akron Atom Splitters. And the Motown Muscle. The High Rollers moved to 6-2 on the season and claim a share of the league's best record with the New Jersey Kingpins. The group with A.J. Johnson, Matt Russo, Sean Rash. And there's your standings. The Kingpins at 6-2. Las Vegas High Rollers at 6-2. And then Portland at 5-3.
What the hell's going on down there in Waco?
I don't know.
Parker and Simonelli, let's go, guys. Pick it up.
The Wonders have some work to do. We'll be in Portland in September. We can't wait. John Fanta, Randy Peterson with you. So here we go. Kyle Troup Just insane what he was able to do, beating Zach Wilkins, who put together a great effort, and now it's Troup, Marshall, Kent, and EJ Tackett.
Yeah, big scores like we predicted off those slow start. Man, they really picked up 20 strikes between the two players in that last match. But you know what? If Zach Wilson makes the 10-pin in the second frame, he could have struck out and won that game against Kyle.
Well, that leads us to tonight's edition of Pressing Questions, partner. And I know that you feel passionately about this one because it's one that's on social media quite a bit. Are bowlers athletes? Yeah, that's the topic of tonight's Pressing Questions with Kimberly Pressler, presented by Go Bowling.
Chris, what would you say is the biggest misconception about pro bowlers?
That we eat pizza and drink beer while we bowl.
Back in the day, pro bowlers were like maybe partiers, they didn't take care of themselves, but that's kind of gone all the way.
Yeah, obviously there's a part of bowling that's a lot of fun for people. We go and have a few beers, birthday parties, and I think that's really important for bowling. But that isn't what we do.
Man, the actual reality is these guys go to the gym, they work out, and they are in great shape. They're athletes.
You can grab a lot of the really talented bowlers out here, and we're pretty good at a lot of other things. I may not be the best at a lot of things, but we go to gym right now and beat you in a three-point contest. I guarantee that.
All the young guys out here, like, we try to eat clean, we're resting. We don't know how these old guys used to do it by partying and bowling 12 or 20 games in a day.
Physically, like, if non-bowlers come out here and bowl 50 games, their butt cheeks will be sore, their wrists and forearm will be sore. So we're athletes too, okay?
That is awesome. Marshall Kent, he feels like he's in the best athletic mental shape of his life. He's up next against Kyle Troup to meet EJ Tackett. Marshall Kent, he was the winner of the Illinois Classic 2 weeks ago, his first win since 2017 as a single. Kimberly Pressler is with the red hot Marshall now.
Thanks, John. So, Marshall, we saw you in the winner's circle just a few short weeks ago in Illinois, and now you made your second show here in 2024. So how much confidence did that win give you?
I felt pretty confident going into the season because I've been putting the work in, but I think that win helped take me to the next level, confidence-wise, and so I'm kind of riding the wave here to another show, and hopefully we can keep that momentum going.
All right, well, good luck to you.
So, thank you.
So, Kyle Troup is still reading, but there's a slight concern entering this matchup. What is it?
Well, I just got the thumbs up from thumbs up while we're looking at Kyle's thumb. I just got the okay from Tim Mack, the tour rep for Kyle. Kyle was high-fiving somebody in the stands as we went to break, and he caught the guy's ring on his thumb. But Timmy just gave me the thumbs up right before coming back from break. He said he's good to go.
Look, thumbs up or not, it's still something to pay attention to because of what we saw from him when he struck 8 straight times to advance to this matchup. How is that thumb?
Oh, my God, there's that messenger again.
It's not in the mood.
That dirty, dirty devil.
We've seen it 3-4 times tonight where it just says not come down.
Well, this isn't the typical messenger that we see the two-handers with all that power lead, because typically it comes across the lane a lot faster than that.
Cleans that up. But after an 8-bagger to start in his previous matchup, a spare here. Here he is. Marshall Kent, one of the best stories on the tour this year. Rededicating himself in Michigan. Holly Lanes, his home center. Getting his 6th title at the Illinois Classic, but his first win as a single in 7 years. Oh my goodness gracious.
Good start.
And he has his own finger issue.
Yeah, he's got that ring finger taped up pretty good, and he was trying to figure out a way to keep the tape from coming off. He has a really good gouge in that ring finger that's been kind of bothering him for a couple of weeks, but he figured out a way. Just super glue it. And that's adrenaline, that shot right there that went in the ditch. Going with a GB4 hybrid to start. His fingers are all taped up. Just a his hand taking a beating.
241 average this week.
And that's going to be the typical miss. Dust yourself off.
A challenging start as we take a look at Marshall's arsenal.
Yep, GB4 hybrid. So he's using reactive resin, and he's going to be in and shaping it. I'll tell you what, a couple weeks ago in Chicago, some of the best shots late in that title match for Marshall Kent ever.
All off work. He said, I reestablished my work ethic.
No way.
It's more like it, yes.
No way can that stand up. You know, and if there's ever a player to root for, it's that guy right there, Marshall Kent.
Why?
He's just a genuine great guy. I've done exhibitions all over the world, primarily in Asia with Marshall Kent. Spent a lot of time with him. He's just as genuine as they get.
He was in EJ Tackett's wedding. Marshall and Kyle Troup have met once on television. Title match of the 2015 PBA Wolf Open in Shawnee, Oklahoma. Troup won that one, 229 to 179. But close to a decade since they've met on TV. Troup strikes.
Troup looks over at Strike Track, get his numbers dialed in, and he's staying with the urethane ball this far. You can see just how big a difference there is between reactive resin and the urethane.
Kyle talked with us about his speed control this week. You just heard him say control, folks. Softer speed. He didn't drill any more balls after his second round of qualifying.
Yeah, he didn't need to. Everything he threw was striking. He didn't need anything else.
If it ain't broke. Uh-oh.
Can we talk after I'm done? Come on, guys. Just wait till I'm done with my approach, please, whoever that was.
Kyle, if it was us in the booth, we certainly never intend to disturb the players.
Tomorrow on FS1, Caitlin Clark, the reigning Player of the Year, Wooden Award winner, first-team All-American, and now the all-time leading scorer in NCAA women's history, takes the court as fourth-ranked Iowa hosts Illinois. It all tips off at 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. To Kent.
Hello.
Back-to-back for Marshall.
So the difference in the two pieces of equipment these players are using, one reactive, one urethane. Marshall Kent is a good 13 and a half boards left of Kyle at the laydown and 7 boards at the arrows. Nice little break there, caving in the bucket late.
One pin took a high jump there. Marshall Kent is starting to boil.
Boom. He's in the best place in his life he's been in a long time. And then you talked about it, the hard work and dedication is starting to pay dividends for Marshall Kent.
Troup, a 15th-year pro. After a hot start, Nate Bagger.
Deadwood.
Got Deadwood in the left gutter on that lane as Kyle. Here's a replay of Kyle's shot where he gets this one inside a target. That one was pretty much right over second arrow, and remember, we've seen some shots. We've seen some shots out to the 2.5 board. So there is room, there is forgiveness, but just not that much.
The winner of this matchup will meet EJ Tackett, who is seeking his first win of the 2024 season in a 4th consecutive showmate.
Re-rack for Kyle Troup on the left lane.
Good tempo. We're still here. We're in control. Let's just go. Good job.
Are you kidding?
We got our answer.
How stubborn is that?
It's not very friendly. Watch the headpin. 6 goes around and just breathes on the 10. Look at that. That's ridiculous.
It really is. Just say yes. It wanted to.
Look out. All right.
Okay.
Seems still messing with his hand. I'm wondering if his thumb's causing him any issues.
Yeah, that's just it. You get it, and that's what we were talking about earlier.
Ring on, and now my heartbeat is in my thumb. Could be fucking broken almost.
Did you just hear that?
Yeah.
Could be broken almost.
He said he could feel his heartbeat in his thumb.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not a good sign.
No.
Because, and here's why. It's not just tonight. It's the upcoming weeks. And now Kent has momentum.
Yep. It's piling on now. It's when, like, you're a wideout. You know the safety has got a little bit of a hamstring injury. And you're the quarterback, you know you're just going to pick at him.
Yeah, I never went further wide on a football field than left guard. But thank you for that. Glad that someone knows the feeling on the show.
Little friction on that lane, and he gets it inside, but just the 4-pin. We're going to try to get an update on Kyle Troup's thumb out of the break.
The update right now is that it has a heartbeat, and he made the insinuation there. You heard it directly from him. Could it be broken? For now, we'll go to a break. Could Marshall Kent be having a career year? A second win in 3 weeks would be a great indicator of it. EJ Tackett's waiting. Kent up on Troup and Anderson on a Saturday night. We want to recognize Angie Colick, the general manager at David Small's Championship Lanes, and David Small, the proprietor here. David has hosted 89 PBA events, regionals, PBA 50, national tour. This is his first time on TV. David, thank you for all you've done for the great sport of bowling. He's one of the great partners that PBA has ever had.
Absolutely. What a great man and just a great proprietor.
So Troup trails by 19 pins. Can Kyle find it here with that injured thumb? He strikes.
All right, let's go down to the floor and talk to Kyle Troup's tour rep, Tim Mack. the Hall of Famer. Timmy, what is the latest on Kyle Troup's thumb?
Listen, he's just going to try to block it out of his mind. It's a little sore, but he's got a pretty strong mental game, so we're all engines go and moving forward.
Thanks, Timmy. Interesting, a player that doesn't use his thumb has a thumb injury. Check this out. I think this is where it happened right here. Watch.
Yeah, that's where it happened. That big high five.
I saw a ring. It was definitely in play.
Tough. But Troup, out of sight, out of mind.
We listened to him during the break talking with Tim Mack. He said, hey, I'm going to stay with that ball. I'm going to just make that a little bit of an adjustment. But if I catch 4 in a row, I'm right back in this.
How about what he told us earlier today, that he had a bit of a panic attack here over the last 2 weeks where he didn't make those shows. He really struggled. He almost had to break everything down and then build it back up to this week.
Yeah, he got off to a bad start a couple weeks ago. Like game 3 was ready to just pack it up.
And he's the U.S. Open champ. That shows you how tough this sport is. Now Ken has been on fire tonight. That's power. 18.7 miles per hour. And this guy's starting to really build a story here. And I love the fact, I think he's an inspiration to everybody because he totally fell out of love with the sport. He thought about packing it up at one point.
Well, I think we're all very proud of him because he's doing what we all believed he could do. And now he believes it. Marshall believes it.
I know how much pride you've got. I can sense it. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah, there's a big miss left, and as forgiving as the old pattern is, you can't miss like that. And like I always say, every shot makes somebody happy, and this one made Kyle Troup happy. And Kyle can get right back into this match.
Disagree. However, that could have gone a lot worse than it ended up. That could have gone a lot worse than where it ended up for him to clean up a spare. He's fortunate to have a spare.
I mean, he was fortunate to catch a piece of the head pin. And now Kyle Troup with a strike here will take the lead.
Control.
Listen. Applause. 2 weeks of missing the cut. Just talked about having trouble with ball reaction. The PBA is proud to have Bowlers to Veterans link as the official charity of the PBA Tour. Since 1942, through the support of the bowling community, BVL has raised more than $56 million for veterans. To donate, go to bvl.org.
I can't think of a better cause. I mean, what a privilege, an honor and a privilege to be associated with the vets.
Troup is showing us why he was the United States Open champion.
Just 2 back-to-back beauties right there by Kyle Troup. Given an opening, he takes full advantage, and that's just big heart as Tim Mack looks back at the booth and he gives us that heart sign.
Now the pressure on Marshall Kent. It does come down this time at 19.2.
Come on, good tempo here. Let's go. Come on.
10-pin goes down like he got hit by a taser.
Good pass.
Good pass.
Marshall Kent can strike out, shoot 237. The problem is Troup can strike out for 248.
How would you know that feeling?
I've just watched cops before on television.
Just move. Make a pass.
All right. One open for Marshall at the front. Is that too much to overcome here? Needs it, gets it. All right, Randy.
Another big miss left, but that is a huge, huge break for Marshall Kent.
Mammoth. He got away with it.
It's almost like he's afraid to throw it right on that lane.
Yes. Can he force Troup? Isn't it interesting? Could this be the second straight week where we see in the semifinal a strikeout and forcing Troup, forcing his hand? Can Kent put the pressure on Troup? Like we saw Tackett put the pressure on Simo.
Yeah.
Let's see. One of the hottest players on tour. Kent, and that's not it. He couldn't overcome. Coming too far left, Randy.
He's so scared of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's afraid to get it to the right. I don't know why. That lane really peels back, and Marshall, the last 3 shots he's thrown on that lane have been big misses to the left.
Right, come on, bud.
224 for Kent. And right now, Kyle Troup needs a mark. Good count.
17-pin fill to win. So a mark here will...
In control. Just got to get this thing down to...
all but do it.
Control.
Reading Mind Gym, an athlete's guide to inner excellence. Trying to write a story of his own tonight.
It's to the left.
He's got to cover it.
To the left.
A little left, just a board left for Kyle Troup on that shot, but 10 pin should be no trouble for Kyle. Spare an 8, seal the deal.
You would think that a 10 pin should be no trouble, and it is. So now he needs 8 to meet Tackett and take a timeout.
Good? Yeah. Tell me a good one here. Best one in the game right now, okay? Good rhythm, good tempo. Make sure your hand's in a good spot. Go be great. Go be great.
Tim Mack telling him, go be great. So he needs 8 pins to win and meet EJ Tackett, which, folks, could you ask for
Good tempo.
a more dramatic Saturday night in this sport than that?
Oh, you're in control here.
We're hearing the lines of this book from him. Be in control. Kyle Troup, you better take out that book. You've got some more reading to do, fella. He's meeting Tackett for a title on a Saturday night in Indy.
What a great touch he put on that shot for the win. Giving it just enough to come around the corner to catch 10.
Guess what, folks? Tackett, Troup, uninterrupted final next. EJ Tackett versus Kyle Troup, their 5th all-time head-to-head TV meeting. They met 3 weeks ago in Indiana. Indianapolis, to be exact here, is a look at these two players, a combined 32 titles.
Yeah, and Troup's only loss to EJ Tackett came at last year's United States Open.
Troup defeated Tackett 212-200 in their most recent meeting 3 weeks ago in Indianapolis. The 10 again.
The throw got in the way of that messenger, couldn't tell.
It did.
Kyle Troup staying with the urethane ball thus far.
What do you make of that?
I'll never question anything Kyle Troup does. .279 the first game with that ball. .227 the last game with that ball. And I think it's the safest play. He knows what it's going to do. He's going to keep that ball on line into the pocket. Whether or not it strikes or not will remain to be seen.
36 total games Wednesday through Friday in qualifying. 64 players entered this field from qualifying round 1 to now. EJ Tackett's been no worse than second.
He led the last 4 rounds.
Is this his week?
I think when we talk about winning on the PBA Tour and how difficult it is, I think EJ Tackett is a great example of that. You look at how he's made 4 telecasts in a row now. And, I mean, without a victory, will tonight be his night?
That is the question. It's a good time to go to last year's United States Open. EJ Tackett earned the #1 seed. Sound familiar? He defeated Kyle Troup 221-208, 9th player in PBA history to capture the Triple Crown. His 3rd career major, 17th PBA title. The Indiana man did it to break through and win that green jacket. Tackett responds.
Venom shot for EJ Tackett on both lanes. Watch 6-pin, second to the right, go around and just snatch the 10-pin's life out of it. Boom. Great shot from our production crew. A little close up there, that 6 going into the 10. Good job, guys in the truck. Steve Grant, David Bruner, our producer, and David Newman, our director.
Troup. And these 2 superstars have matched one another through 2.
This is going to be a good old-fashioned rock fight. 2 of the best on tour.
'22, Kyle received the Dick Weber Polling Ambassador Award, given to the athlete who has consistently shown grace on and off the lanes. He's one of the great guys. Has a tremendous following. These 2 in this title match are revered. Uh-oh.
Okay. Look it up.
He said he separated himself, Randy, over the last week, just from all the distractions, all the talk, all the hype.
Yeah, this shot here just looks a little quick. And now he's left himself with the 248. And you got to be mindful of this one.
Back to EJ, reigning player of the year.
Last week, EJ Tackett did what he had to do, got up and made some great shots to force Anthony Simonson to do the same, and Simo did and went on to win. See if EJ can execute like he did last week.
He executes perfectly there. That was pretty.
That bowling ball revving down the lane with some really bad intentions. This is one of the most powerful guys, pound for pound, out here on the PBA Tour. That elbow just snapping and wrist snapping at the point of release and just creates a ton of power.
Look at his arsenal.
Venom shock.
Venomous.
Yeah.
Venomous, baby.
I think that rack is in shock.
He would throw urethane first game of every block, and then he was heading to reactive all throughout the week.
Yeah, like one game with urethane. He didn't care if he shot 300 the first game, 279 with that urethane ball. That game 2, he's jumping to reactive.
I like that he said getting the right ball to get through the pins correctly, and you said, well, expand on that. He goes, well, I just did it.
He seems to do that a lot.
Troup strikes.
Timeout.
Timeout.
So I did 19 empty arrows. Right around 19 with the black ball. Okay. All right, that's what we're going. Commit to it and go.
Translate.
Not sure if we're going to see a ball change or not.
Right here.
That was right over second arrow. And looks like maybe it going to an IQ tour. Yep, sure is, right there.
You heard commit to it and go.
And this is reactive. You're going to see a lot more shape with this ball for Kyle.
Thought we might see this even sooner. Here it comes. Commit to it.
Yeah, you dirty animal. Get out of here.
See ya. You're gone.
Man, I don't know about you, but sometimes when I need a satisfying moment, I reach for the Snickers. What about you?
I've done it too many times. The satisfying moment of the match is sponsored by Snickers. Nothing satisfies like a Snickers. That's the look of satisfaction. Ooh. 10.
Pretty good shot there for 9 by EJ Tackett. 6 slingshots around the 10. And you're right-handed. It's not a friend of yours.
He's bowled in this building for 20 years.
A lot.
Different regional events, high school state championships. He brought up the loss in the high school state finals before he brought up the win. That's how he's wired. And this graphic sums up EJ Tackett with the appropriate headline, Who's Your Daddy? Likes his home state.
Pretty good stuff there, isn't it?
Champion at the U.S. Open last year. We showed you that shot of his emotions. His wife, Natalie, they gave birth to Eddie III, Troup, in December. Troup is doing great. Best part of having EJ. 4 straight shows. We get a new picture every week.
There's the Marshall Kent crossover on that left lane. You see that arm swing that goes out and then tucks back in, and that is part of the reason why EJ Tackett is so good. That swing direction gets that wrist and that hand in a really good spot, but that shot just left the target. just like that, Kyle Troup takes the lead. What a beauty right here. Urethane on the right lane, reactive resin on the left lane. Timmy Mack just looked back at us and shrugged his shoulders like, I don't know.
Well, An Athlete's Guide to Inner Excellence. Mind Gym, that book by Gary Mack. Kyle read it this week. He's almost done with it. He's found excellence tonight and is finding excellence at the perfect time.
What a ball change. I mean, just to go to the reactive on the left lane. We saw Marshall Kent struggle on this lane. EJ just crossed over. And the last couple of shots on that left lane for Kyle Troup have been perfect.
Back to the book. He's going to finish it. He's going to finish that book. It's got to be on the last couple of pages. Man, has this lived up to the hype. Oh, do we have drama for $25,000?
Well, if you're a bowling fan, this is exactly what you wish for. Two of our best going at it. It's a one-pin match through 7.
My goodness. You got to combine 32 titles. You've got 6 majors. You've got 2 of the last 3 players of the year. And all while that's happening, someone is reading a book. I'd say to that fan to wake up, but it's not a fan.
Oh, no.
It missed.
No.
It wanted to.
That was just so bad. Make sure you don't do what you did last time.
You know, we've seen in the past with EJ at times he gets a little quick in the downswing, and when he does, his hand tends to fly around it early. You can see him motioning with that elbow. Still good enough to strike.
Did you hear him? Don't do what you did last time. You had an issue with this 10, and all right.
I mean, it was still good enough to strike. The messenger came flying across it in front. You can see him, yep, turned it early, a little early. Troup can extend the lead to 22 strikes in the 8th and 9th. 2 of the PBA Tour's heavyweights going at it.
He began this month with a title in Indiana, US Open. Now trying to close the month with an Indiana Classic title against one of Indiana's own.
Ooh. Whoa.
Whoa, whoa.
Bucket was up for a second. Now it's just the 5-pin. There's the bucket right there. That is a great rake.
Wasn't a very sturdy bucket.
Nobody misses the 5-pin, John.
Nobody?
I know this one dude that did. Tournament of Champions, but we don't need to talk about that. Let's move on. 9th frame. 9th and 10th coming up. 1-pin match. Both players working on a spare.
You could cut the tension with a knife. This is the good stuff. The pro with the fro versus perhaps the best in the sport right now, Mr. Consistent. Grab your popcorn.
Well, now he's in jeopardy of losing because he doesn't strike in the ninth. EJ Tackett can now strike out and shut out Kyle Troup. Really good shot by Kyle just to leave that 10-pin. EJ Tackett has to finish on that left lane, and it's been a little spotty the last couple times up for him.
Fastest one of the day.
Hear that, Randy? Fastest one of the day?
Yeah, it still looked like a pretty doggone good shot to me.
So what's the key to this shot for Tackett?
Execution. Just like he did last week.
He said difference between losing and getting beat.
Unreal. Cannot believe that didn't come around the corner. All the numbers look really good.
Yeah. Is that just this sport?
It may be oil being carried down by the urethane ball in that lane. That's the only explanation I can offer. That right lane's a little tight down lane anyway, but that looked pretty good to me. I cannot believe what I just saw his ball do there. It was like somebody poured a big puddle of oil in the middle part of the lane. Watch this. That is unbelievable.
With Troup looking down the whole time and reading his book. He didn't even look up. Oh my goodness. Out of all the things.
Nope. Yep.
Well, and isn't that the other side of the sport? That wasn't nearly what we saw on the other side. Better shot on the other side, but this one strikes.
Well, we saw Kent do it. We've seen Tackett do it. The only person that hasn't done it late is Kyle Troup. But no matter what EJ Tackett does here in the 10th frame, he cannot shut out Kyle Troup. Force him to mark with a strike here. Oh my goodness. One frame, the 9th, and it's all but over.
Wow. 4 straight television appearances for EJ Tackett. Now this is hard to believe. He is on the cusp of not coming away with a win. Eight pins for Kyle Troup to win. He started this month writing another chapter to his legacy, a second major.
All you gotta do is just get it.
Now trying to close this month by penning a 12th title. And as he finishes one book, he writes another title chapter. Kyle Troup, the Indiana Classic champion.
Guppy style, baby! Shout out Ray's Eyewear. Love you guys. Let's hear you, crowd. Come on. Let's go.
$25,000. Started the month with a green jacket, Randy Peterson. Nobody had a better February than Kyle Troup.
Yeah, and he may have just moved himself to the top of the list in the Player of the Year race. I know it's early, but Kyle Troup, 2 wins, 1 major.
Kyle Troup, your Indiana Classic champion.
Hell of a bowler, brother. Keep it up.
Coverage of the 2024 PBA season continues next Sunday, March 3rd on FS1 at noon Eastern with the PBA Delaware Classic from Mid-County Lanes and Entertainment in Middletown, Delaware. Coming up next, it's Mountain West Conference Women's College Basketball as UNLV faces Nevada. So for Randy Peterson, Kimberly Pressler, and our entire crew, I'm John Fanta. You've been watching the PBA on FS1, the king of Indiana, the king of February in the PBA this year. Let's go! Kyle Troup with his